Good morning, everybody. My name is Gene Morris. I'm a solutions consultant with Keynote Systems. I've been there a little over 9 years, and I'm here this morning to talk with you about a couple of free tools that Keynote provides: KITE, or Keynote Internet Testing Environment, and MITE, Mobile Internet Testing Environment. And the reason why I wanted to talk about these is there are a lot of really good tools out there. We all use them: web page test, YSlow, page speed, that are really good, but the thing is there's a limitation in that they are only in the context of a single web page, and so you don't get insight into a user journey, different scenarios. And what KITE and MITE offer is the ability to step through a multi-page click path. For example, let's say going into a banking application and checking your balance, or maybe going through a retail site for a shopping cart transaction. So I'm going to start off today talking about KITE. It runs in Windows. It's tightly coupled with Internet Explorer, and it plays back in IE and Firefox, and uses IE9. You can regress to IE8 or IE7 using compatibility mode, and it gives you the ability to do critical path user journey recording, as I was saying, which is so important to understanding these things holistically. You can do DOM scripting, that is, interact with elements in the DOM. So let's say, for example, a shopping cart site, you want to return a search and click on a random item from the search. You can do that by inserting a DOM script, essentially a block of JavaScript. And you can also do advanced scripting via the Keynote API. So you can scrape the DOM and parse it for, let's say, header information, server ID, or you can insert cookies into the script to affect the behavior. And you will also have IE9 DOM metrics. There's powerful new metrics available thanks to the W3C navigation timing spec, things like time to first paint, time till interactive, that give further insight into the user experience. And of course, you can take these scripts that you record, play them back within KITE from your desktop. You can send them to a colleague to play back in KITE at their desktop to get insight into their experience. But you can also, for free, take the script and upload it to run from 5 global locations for free in the moment from the public internet to get insight into the experience there. And you get the same kind of waterfall graphs that you get in KITE, you get there, so you'll be able to get insight into what's happening there. So the benefits of KITE: you've got the multi-step recording, you've got the DOM interaction, there's support for Flash and Silverlight and Ajax because you're using real browser, you get the request and response headers. You can do burst mode testing, regression testing kind of thing, where let's say you want to run the script 10 times in a row to make sure that performance is consistent and reliable. There's also a feature called virtual pages, where you can essentially, it's a bucketing filtering mechanism. So you can do things like, I'm going to take all the content that is third-party ads, I'm going to put that in one bucket, one virtual page, and maybe all the analytics tags, and another one, maybe all the content I own directly in another one, and compare the performance. That's a nice tool to have. And then there are also custom page completions, which can be very important for more sophisticated Ajax-driven kinds of applications. So in addition to saying we're going to let the browser tell us when the page is done, you can say, I'm going to leave things open for another couple of seconds to allow for asynchronous downloads to come down. Or I could say, I'm going to set the completion based on when, let's say, 3 seconds have gone by with no further network activity. Or I can say, for like Flash or videos where there's constantly content coming down, I can say, I'm just going to say after 5 seconds, consider it done. And then finally, you can also set a completion condition based on the DOM. So I could say, let's say there's a span element. When that span element appears that has inner text of such and such, consider the page complete. So very, very powerful functionality. You can turn browser cache on and off, and you can do, as I mentioned, DOM and advanced scripting. So what I'd like to do now is just jump into a quick demo of KITE. And what I've done here is I've pre-recorded a script, and I've chosen the Bloomberg website. And the reason is this is a news portal, and the articles on the site are constantly changing. So I've recorded a script that goes to the home page and then clicks on one of the articles. The problem is, when I record the script, the article that I've chosen may not be there tomorrow or even later today. So I've inserted a DOM script here, and you can see it's just some JavaScript going through the DOM, looking at the anchor tags, and clicking on the first one that says data type of story. And if I play that back, you'll see a browser window open. I'm going to use IE, and we'll see an IE browser window open. And it's just going to simply step through the script that I recorded. It's going to bring up the home page, and we're going to see that load completely. And then it's going to go on to selecting an article. And then once that's done, I'm going to see a summary for both of those pages as well as the overall journey. And then I can choose to look at further information. There's a performance tab down below that we're going to take a look at really quickly, where there's just a wealth of information to be had there. So I'll just click this out of the way. So for example, let me just move this over here. I can see, scrolling down here, let me just move this here, sorry. Which point at 419 milliseconds, the DOM began loading. At 1.438 milliseconds on the first page was first paint. I can click on any of these calls. I can see the request and response headers in the bottom. I can scroll to the right, and I can see all kinds of good things like time to first byte, time for DNS lookup, time for content after the first byte loaded, all sorts of things like that. And time doesn't permit me to go into all of the things that you can do, but it's a lot of fun to play around with. And that leads me to talk about MITE, which is our tool for looking at mobile web pages. That too runs under Windows. It uses a WebKit engine, and it has the same capabilities as KITE in terms of you can do the user journey, critical path recording, you can do the DOM scripting, you can do the advanced scripting using the Keynote API. And in addition, there's something called a MITE score, where we evaluate the web page based on mobile web best practices and also give you some tips on what you can do to improve. And then when it comes to emulating the behavior of these devices, we do that in a very sophisticated way. It's not just putting out the user agent string saying this is an iPhone 5 or what have you. We're looking at things like what JavaScript properties can that device execute, how many parallel threads can be downloaded at a time, and a whole host of other things that add up to a very comprehensive view of how that device will behave. And then we support things like geolocation, swipe and touch support, as well as HTML5, things like local storage. So the benefits here, the benefits here, again, are akin to the benefits with KITE, the multi-step recording, the DOM interaction. You've got HTML5 support, the request and response headers, custom page completions, the DOM and advanced scripting, all of that like you have in KITE. And then you can see in the screenshot on the page, it gives you, there's an example of a MITE score, and then below that, you can see the points where it did well, where it did not so well, and suggestions for improvement. So with that, I'd like to launch into a quick demo of MITE. And so we can just go and browse a website, first of all. And by the way, in the course of this, I'll tell you exactly where to obtain both tools. So I'm going to go to the JCrew website, and let's do some shopping. And let's use an iPhone 5, but I could just as easily have chosen an iPad or any of the popular tablets or devices out there. And you can see here, I've got the page here, and I can scroll down that page at will. If I can just get my mouse over there. And I can click on things, etc. And just to show you in the time that we have what a script looks like, I've pre-recorded a script that goes to the JCrew website, does a search for an item, and in this case I'm searching for pants, and then I've inserted some JavaScript. Again, inserted a DOM script, in this case, to look through all the items returned from the search and randomly click on one of those. If you want to see what that looks like, I'll play that back. And actually, I see we're just about out of time, so we'll feel free to stop by the booth, and I'll play the back for you. But I would like to conclude by asking you to please visit the Keynote booth at booth 19. I'd love to answer your questions or show you the full demo of MITE and other things that you may have questions about with KITE. You can get the tools at kite.keynote.com and mite.keynote.com. Again, thank you for your time. I hope you have a great Velocity conference.